So what does the new Replicard Lad actually do for Kashtira? Let's start with the Unicorn and Fenrir combo, where you make Heat Soul. You start off by special summoning Unicorn, using its effect to grab Birth. You activate Birth, and then you normal summon Fenrir. With the Fenrir, you add Right Heart to your hand. Then you overlay the Fenrir and Unicorn to make a Dracossack. Use Dracossack's effect, detaching the Unicorn, to summon 2 tokens. You then turn each token into a Link Spider, which then goes into a G-Golem Crystal Heart that can reborn a Link Spider. Then you make these 2 into Heat Soul, and you draw a card. Here I would summon back the Unicorn, summon Rise Heart from my hand, use Rise Heart to banish a Birth from my deck, and the top 3 cards from my opponent's deck are banished. The reason why you banish Birth here is because if they out your Birth on the field, you can then next turn banish a Theosis with either Rise Heart, or if you get it into the graveyard with Scareclaw Cache or the Dark Arm Dragon Exceed, and then you have a Birth to add back, as this is your best follow-up. Then this becomes level 7, and you overlay these 2 into a Cashira, which usually summons a Unicorn on your opponent's turn, or a Fenrir if you want to. I like to make Cashira here because it is better into Murakumo, as the Cashira can protect itself, and when you've paid 2 files with Heat Soul it's pretty easy for them to OTK you. But instead of searching the Rise Hearts, you could add a Scareclaw Cache to your hand instead. In that case, your board would look something like this, where you special summon Scareclaw Cache by banishing Unicorn, Birth to bring it back, link away the Dracossack and the Scareclaw Cache into an IP Masquerena. If you detach Fenrir with the Dracossack, you could instead have a Fenrir as opposed to the Unicorn on your field. But if you think you're playing as Maliss, the Unicorn is definitely better. And with the IP you can make an SP, which could provide more interruptions. But this board is just worse in terms of follow-up. And you can do a similar combo with Lad and Birth. Birth and Theosis are generally your worst cards in the Kashtira deck because they don't do anything on their own. But with the Lad, we get some more options. Say you activate Birth and you normal summon the Lad. Use Lad's effect, targeting himself to summon a level 7 with 2500 attack from your deck, being Unicorn. This Unicorn cannot activate, but we can easily bypass that by overlaying these 2 into a Dracossack, using the Dracossack to detach the Unicorn, to do the same thing we did before, to make a Heat Soul, and draw us a card. Depending on the makeup of your hand, you could make these 2 into an SP, to forgo the draw on your opponent's turn with the Heat Soul, but at least guarantee the SP on your opponent's turn. Or you can just keep it as is, but you will be locking yourself here. When you use Birth to summon back the Unicorn, you now search with the Unicorn to grab a Theosis. You activate Theosis, targeting the Unicorn, to summon a Fenrir from your deck. With Fenrir's effect, you can search for a Rise Heart. You can special summon the Rise Heart's effect, to banish a Birth from your deck, and remove the top 3 from your opponent's deck, and overlay the Rise Heart, along with the Fenrir or the Unicorn, into a Cashira. Usually you care more about having a multitude of Fenrirs in your deck as opposed to the Unicorns, so the better play would be to overlay with the Unicorn and summon another Unicorn from your deck. However, that might play into an Ash or an Impulse, that your opponent could have top deck and therefore not used on your turn. So if you want to play around that, you can just keep the one on the field that you think is the most relevant for the situation, and then you summon the other one from your deck in the standby phase. So even if they do negate the Cashira with an Ash or an Imperm for example, or an Impulse, then you still have the best Kashtira on your field. This is just one of the many ways that you can play the Kashtira deck with Lad. If you draw the hands with 3 or 4 engine cards, you can even make Grey DL on your end board, as this can be a very good interruption on your end field against Mitsurugi or Maliss, by just taking their monster from the graveyard, denying them the ability to use them for their effects. Additionally, there are some cool combos in this deck, where instead of making the Crystal Heart, you make a Cyber's Wicked, and then you use Wicked's effect, banishing a Link Spider when you summon something under it, to search the backup Adagnister, and then the backup Adagnister can get you into your Lad. And with the Dracossack, the token's level 3, so you can make Cherubini to dump a Dormouse for your Maliss deck. So if you're a fan of pile combo decks, there's definitely something you can do with Maliss and Kashtira with Lad. If you enjoy my content, make sure to also subscribe to my second channel, linked in the description box down below. There I'll be posting more personalized and exclusive content.